is the Black Panther in-depth guide. So first we have the basics of just melee. This does pretty much no damage, and it does the same damage no matter what you do. So you're never really going to want to use those. What you're going to be doing pretty much all the time at any rank is spear, dash, spear, dash. That kills 250 HP characters. Then you have the Chasm combo, is what it is popularly named, of spear, spear, dash, dash. That still kills 250 HP characters, but it does it slightly faster. This is what you're going to use on, say, a Loki, so he can't put his immortality field down or teleport away. Why they call it unreactable, right? Because it's so fast. Much faster than the spear dash, spear dash. The problem is it is risky as it leaves you with no dash to escape and only your spinning kick. And the spinning kick does not go that far and it is very slow. Now you have a few other different combos as well. This is a good one as well if you are facing a 275 HP healer slash character. Use spear, dash, and then dash. That kills 275 HP characters. Now, it is important to note that the spear dash, dash is not just a 275 HP combo. It is a 300 damage combo. So characters with 300 HP will die from the spear dash, dash combo. More time. Spear dash, dash. That is pretty much it for the basics. You have a few minor things that I wouldn't really ever suggest doing. Is you can spear dash, claw dash, or spear dash. Oh, he was already hurt before. Just incorporating your like claws.
That's 3.
I don't really see the point. I don't think it's a great idea. And I think every millisecond counts with Black Panther because if any healing is interrupted or comes into his combo, he will not kill. His damage has a big wall. It's not low damage, it's just more of damage that hits a wall. So if this is a 250 HP healer and the other healer heals them right now, the second spear dash will not kill them. Because the spear dash is exactly 250 HP. So that is pretty much both of the all 3 of the combos you'll be using. I'll go over it one more time. The spear dash, and then the spear, dash.
Double KO. That's 3.
I would highly suggest this one over the other 2, where you go spear dash, dash. Because it gives you that extra damage that you need a lot of the time, because the more higher rank you go, you will experience healers who react faster and know how to use their cooldowns better. So this won't suffice every time, and a lot of the time you will need that last dash and then use your spinning kick to get out. Next, let's talk about how to approach. How we're going to want to approach an enemy is from above ground. You never want to do it in their face like that. That is too obvious. That's too easy to counter, as you will be seeing. A better way to approach is from behind. You're going to want to come from behind. Above is very, very ideal, as they cannot react to you behind them, right? Unless they hear you. Which I also would suggest not randomly meleeing. I know a lot of Panthers do this. They randomly melee. Do not randomly melee. Listen. You hear that? That's the melee. His melee is extremely loud. If you try to sneak behind them while you're holding your melee button, you'll be heard. So don't be surprised when they react to you. I would also throw in the tip to not necessarily double jump. I know a lot of people like to do this and then go in. If you don't need to do that, do not do that. Because, listen again, he grunts. He grunts very, very loudly. And that gives him away. However, if you do that, you see?
Double KO.
No grunt.
Clearly,
No
you are
noise.
outmatched.
That's 3.
Nothing. No noise at all. A lot better, right? See, look. That is almost a full second and a half for the healer to react. And now you're probably wondering why I say healer all the time, right? Because Black Panther's main job will be killing healers. You don't really want to care that much about other DPS. You don't want to care that. You definitely don't want to care about tanks. You can't do anything to tanks unless they're already super low. But even then, if there is a healer alive, it is your job to kill them. That is your only job.
That's 3.
Just focus only on the healers. Next, we have his ultimate. So his ultimate has a few things involved, and it can be pretty good when used correctly. You want to use this after a few dashes, say for example, spear dash, then ult. If you spear dash someone who's 250 HP, and then ult them, and they have no healing, they will die. Now it's important to note that his ultimate will mark them. Not only mark them, it will reset your dash, and then when you dash the mark, you will get another reset. Even if it kills someone, your dash will be reset. Even if it doesn't, I mean, you will get a reset. I have gone over the sensitivity settings in another video as well, but I will show them in this one. I believe you do not need a very high sensitivity for Black Panther. Well, speaking relatively to Black Panther, these are my settings for Black Panther. They're not as high as they could be, and they're not as low as they could be. I found this to be a nice sweet spot. I don't have any issues with my sensitivity being like this. I never noticed any problems or it being too slow or too fast. I think it's better to find a sensitivity where you can aim your dash, because you don't want to go too fast where you aren't aiming, but you want to go fast where you can do a quick 180. But you can aim where you're dashing at the same time. Black Panther does not have a lot to him. He is mainly about positioning and game sense because his mechanics are very basic. He only has about 3 combos that you're ever really gonna use, and his melee is kind of pointless. There's not a lot to go on about there. What's very important is knowing who you're up against and knowing what to do to kill them. If you're up against a Luna Snow, you need to know that you need to spear dash, dash to kill them, and not just spear dash, dash. That's the main thing to know about Panther. That will help you rank up at any rank, is knowing what to do against your opponent. We're going to go over some gameplay that I had, and we're going to analyze it of what to do and what not to do. This is a Celestial lobby on Central Park, and we are attacking first where I play Black Panther.
Now it's this.
First, I want to talk about this little rollout, you could call it, a little entryway. I'll just say rollout for simplicity's sake. I like climbing up here. I do not like going around here, as I believe it is too obvious. I've seen some people go all the way around on certain characters. I've never done that on BP. You can if you wall climb and then jump kick or dash kick. You can make it. However, It's a little too known, a little too obvious, and a little too long. So what I do is I climb up on this tree. I lit on this little lip here. You can usually kind of make your way up here. And then using his double jump, I know I said not to as much, but obviously it's situational. If they're not going to hear you, if there's a lot going on, then, you can just do it. It's only when you're really trying to be sneaky and not be heard that you shouldn't do it. So we climb up here, we get some height, and this will give you a very good point of view of what's going on. Now, there's some good things about this and some bad things about this. Firstly, the bad thing is that we are coming right on their heads. Pause. What I mean by that is that they can, if they were a little bit further back, they would be able to see us. And that's not good. However, coming from here can also be obvious if they're standing here and it's not giving you a good position to really go on them, as it's just too much time. You take too much time from there. If you go from here and they see you, at least they will only have about half a second for you to react before you spear dash. And if they do, then you can get out because then you made them use a cooldown and you can come back when you have yours up and they don't have theirs up. And another good thing about this is where you can see the healers very easily. There's a cloak right there and a Loki right there. Now, another important thing is the healer you choose to go on. It's not quite about what the healer can do. Both these healers are 250 HP healers. I also retract that statement. It is exactly about what they can do. Loki can place an immortality field. Cloak can place a healing bubble. I can kill through that healing bubble if I'm fast enough and precise enough with the spear dash, dash. So in this scenario, I don't want Loki to be the first person to realize he's taken damage. I want it to be Cloak, because she can only place a bubble. By the time she tries to go invulnerable, she should be dead. Unfortunately, I do believe the splash healing of Loki pretty much saved both of them, because he did not place his field, no. We do see Loki's immortality field come out. Now, there's a good thing and a bad thing. One, we made Loki use his immortality field. That is now on a 25-second cooldown. The bad thing, we stayed too long. We should have gotten out sooner. We shouldn't have been here for as long as we were. We should have seen Loki's field. We should have seen the healing they were doing. We should have looked at our cooldowns, and we should have left. I got greedy with this. It was greed that killed me. As this is an in-depth guide, we will go over pretty much everything. Pretty much. So Black Panther and peeling. Not the greatest combo. He's not a great peeler due to his low damage and relying on everything hitting. Now, if we're facing a Magik, she has a high possibility that she will teleport away and make us waste our cooldowns by having them not hit, because she has invincibility frames when she teleports. She can also dash away, and it can get a little dicey. So Black Panther isn't a very reliable peeler. However, it's still a good idea to help if you are there. I'm coming out of spawn. I see my healers being jumped. You should help. However, it's not completely your job. So I see this Hulk here and I see this BP. I think, okay. I have both my taints here and they're facing a BP. I'm going to leave. This is not my fight. This is not the fight I want. This is not where I will have value. Where I have value is in the enemy backline. So I do the same rollout. Unfortunately, I did not have my spear up. It's important to keep track of your cooldowns. I probably could have killed him if I had my spear up. However, we did make him use lamps, so that's beneficial.
Once I'm vulnerable. Look who's here.
Us against the world.
We can go over this as well. It's important to chain your dashes, but also realize your one burst damage. Chaining your dashes is cool. Getting those big refreshes are nice. However, what you are really aiming for is that big burst damage, and that's just the quick kills. That's the 1-2-1-2 kills, you know? It's not the chaining 5 dashes in a row and then ulting. It's getting that 1 or 2 picks very, very quickly with your burst damage and not chaining for too long.
Behold, Dark Child!
With Black Panther, you're gonna want to have really fast reactions, right? So it's important to, one, see the enemy's HP, because you can sort of see them when they are, like in this moment, I could see this Clote's HP. I think it's because she took damage, and then I'm her enemy, so I can see it. I know this spear dash will kill her, so I don't use a second spear dash and waste my cooldowns. I also do it immediately.
Behold, Dark Child!
And again, focusing the healers. I ignored the BP. Me and that BP, I don't care about you. I care about this Loki. That's what I care about. I want this Loki. This is what I want. I don't want the BP. I want the Loki. Made him use field again. So even though we didn't get the kill, it's good value to get it out because that ability is very strong. And so the fact that we keep getting it out is good. We're not killing him, which is bad, but we are getting a very strong ability out with a very long cooldown. This is also important to notice that there is a defense ult, a healer defense ult up. Panther's damage is very bursty, but it's low. Like I said before, it hits a wall. It hits a cap. So, we wait. Don't engage in a healer ult. There is no point. You won't kill anything, and you will probably die in the process. So, just wait. Wait for your cooldowns to come back, and then engage when it's over.
To me!
Now, you will notice that map knowledge is very important as well. You will see me going on these flanking routes. You will see me going on the side angles all the time. Again, another moment where I ignore the other DPS. I do not care. Okay? I don't care about this fight. This is not my fight. She wants me dead. This is her fight. This is not my fight. This is hers. But for me, my fight's right there.
She is unholy. She will return.
On the easy kills. That right there, that Magik, not a good matchup. I don't want that. That Hela, though, that's low, I want that.
Ah, yes. Much better.
Help. So cold.
Again, never stay in main for long. I'm on these side angles. I was over there. Now I'm over here. Now I'm up here. I'm not at main. I'm not holding the chokes. I'm on the side angles. And I'm up high. I'm high looking at the teams below. Now I'm taking a big flank. I see a healer. Immediately go on them. No hesitation.
Far too simple a victory.
I know how much damage my dashes do, so I know what will kill them and what won't. This mark also is tracked through walls. That's what I'm doing right here. I don't really know that Hela and Strange is right there, but I see the site. Like, I see the mark. So So that's what I'm trying to go for. I did get the refresh. I was going to do pretty good stuff there. I think I could have cooked, but the strange got me. I overextended here. I should have pulled back. I should have just left. Again, that's what happens when you hold mains. That's what happens when you hold the main choke. When you don't stand those off angles and play smartly. Because right there, I was holding main. I was holding spawn as well. Not a good combo for a Black Panther.
If you wish to survive, you must repair me.
Okay, we're up high again. We use kick across terrain. Only use this when you want to fully engage and you don't really care if you die or not, because then you really don't have much escape. I use this kick because I like to fully engage a lot and I know what I'm doing. So I use the kick to cross terrain. I really only suggest this, again, if you know what you're doing and to want to fully engage. Now, another thing that this is what separates a good Panther from a Black Panther. Or a bad Panther, I mean. What I just did was a millisecond of thinking. What I did there was just thinking immediately, right there. It was a millisecond. I could have kept going down this way. Instead, I go slightly to my left. You know why? Because I've been in these situations before. I know this character. If I dash here, this cart is going to mess me up. This wall is going to mess me up. However, if I go a little to the left, look at this. Way better. It's just way better. I am lined up to go up and down this path, and they're all lined up here, and the cart will not get in my way, and the walls will not get in my way. This is extremely important. This is extremely important knowledge, to have those instantaneous millisecond reactions while you're in the air, to align yourself with the best path to get them. And this is the outcome of doing that.
Tremble before fast!
That's 3.
If I didn't do that minor adjustment while I was in the air, that wouldn't have happened. That would have went very differently. And those people may or may not have even died.
Tremble before fast!
Double KO.
You are my prey.
I did eventually end up switching off because they full countered me. The entire enemy team countered me completely.
Guide my spear.
And that's no fun to play against. You know, if you are being full countered, it is an incredibly rare scenario where you can make it work. If you are being countered by each 6 players on the enemy team, then I would suggest swapping. I'm not kidding. It is not fun at all to play against
Tremble before fast!
your counters. Nor do you get good value. That's the more important thing, is that your value will highly decrease. And it'll just cause your entire your team to hate you. And you won't have fun, and no one's gonna have fun. It's just gonna suck. So just if they got a Halt in the Moor, Scarlet Witch, Invis Rocket, just get off. Just go someone else. You'll have more fun. You'll have more value. You'll probably win easier. So that's about it. We went over the basics, some combos, some do's and don't do's. I feel like I went pretty in-depth as well to safely call this an in-depth guide. Hopefully you learned something new and get to Celestial and higher with Black Panther because there's like nobody up here with me. There's there's no Celestial Panther players.
Know your limits.
So yeah, good luck.